I'd like to call this meeting to order. Harb. First thing we do is Pledge of Allegiance. All rise. The first order of business after the Pledge of Allegiance is approval of the minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes.
You got to turn your mic on.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Talk into the mic.
Second?
I having hear it moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Minutes are approved. Next in the order of business is 318 Midland Avenue, Harb 2024-09. Come on up. They are going to be replacing the existing garage with a two-story garage.
All right. My name is Mike Duncan. Thank you for letting me present today. So I currently live at 318 Midland. I've lived there for about 3 years. When we purchased the property in 2021, we were aware that the garage was in disrepair. However, we are just getting around to getting it replaced. It has continued to deteriorate over time. It's become a little bit of a safety hazard for my children. So our proposal is to replace the...
You can leave those.
Replace the existing one-story structure with a two-story garage, and we've chosen a contractor that has already done this same exact garage on the street. It's just a smaller scaled-down version, and we've picked a model that is consistent with, in the bottom right picture on here, you can see the picture at the front of the house.
Do you want to zoom in on that? Great, thank you, Eric.
There you go. So as you can see, we have the two gables in the front and a two-car garage on the bottom. And this would be at the end of the driveway to make it symmetric with the street as well. And we will be expanding this garage about 240 square feet to make it slightly larger to be symmetric with the driveway.
Okay. Terry, do you have any questions?
No, I went by the property and I could see why
Turn
you
on your
might
mic.
replace it. No, said I've been by the property, I could see why you might want to make a replacement.
Yes.
I didn't see any severe impact to the neighborhood. I thought everything depended upon the building to replace it. And I think it looks acceptable in terms of the spatially.
Dave?
I agree. I think it's an improvement.
I have no criticisms.
Okay.
I move we issue a certificate of appropriateness.
I second.
Okay, having a motion of appropriateness and seconded. Any other discussion?
I like it.
All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
All right. Thank
Well
you.
done, thank you. And thank you for the thoroughness of what you presented. Next order, in the order of taking care of business, is 128 West Wayne Avenue, Harb number 2024-10.
Hi, this is Matt and Linda Totaro. We're doing a similar project, looking to actually remove our original barn, which is 2 stories with a 2-story garage. We want to move it closer to our home, though. The current structure pictured here is, I believe, the original barn. We don't really have any historic attachment to it or know of any historic attachment to it or significance. It's located at the bottom of our driveway, so if the pictures aren't great, but you can see this is the top of our driveway. This is sloped. It heads all the way down. This is a roughly acre property. It's well behind the property itself, and it's not very visible from the street. And I can show you some sight lines. But it has the bottom of the driveway, so all the water just accumulates at the barn. There's no foundation. There's some cobblestones as a foundation. We do have a letter that from our architect who.
Present these?
Sure.
So these were not ready by the time we had our packets done for you
Oh,
guys.
thank you.
But this is an architect basically saying that it's an unsafe structure.
Oh, well, that's nice to know.
So the structure's in disrepair, as you can see some of the pictures. This is the side view of the property. This is the rear of the structure. When we first purchased the home in 2015, we had to have a corner beam to replaced, and it was on the verge of falling down. Since then, I think it's kind of become more of a home for squirrels.
Okay.
So we really want to move the property to get it out of that line from the water line.
Okay.
If you look at the various views, this is one of the views from the street. This is our driveway. It's hard to see the barn from behind.
Wait,
the gate.
can you move that picture more to the middle of the table? Perfect.
Two pictures from our driveway, similar viewpoint. Just very hard to see the structure. This is a little more up close.
Okay.
That's the top of the barn. This is from the side, so this would, from the projection, would be this side of this picture, so our neighbors from across the street, also not visible. And then the other side of the property, once again, it's very hard to see the top, and then from the other angle of our neighbors from the street, sorry about that, this is the property on the other side, and the barn would be back here. I believe this is the roof line of the barn.
Okay.
So we do want to move the new structure closer. If you look at
So that would get it out of line of the water, and the roof line would go taller for all the neighbors?
Yes, but it still would be more, it still wouldn't be still be very hard to see the structure itself. This is where the original barn is now.
Right.
And we want to move it closer. We have a patio that steps down from the house that would be adjacent to the patio. And if you look at the proposed structure itself, this,
That side faces the patio
that side
Yes.
faces the patio.
or the
And
back
then-
of the house, depending on how you want it?
Yes, that would be facing the house, and then we can, it'd be much more functional structure, being allowed to use the garage, which we really can't use the barn in any functional way today.
Okay.
And it does, this is the driveway going pretty much directly into,
Now, not that it matters, I'm just a stormwater management
Sure.
kind of guy. So you'll be able to do some stormwater management based on building the garage, I guess?
so there's a net impervious space addition of, I think, roughly 300 feet. The barn would be turned into grass.
Okay. But that's not our venue anyway.
We have a grading permit
Yeah, we've already received.
contingent upon HARB approval. So what we're
Okay.
looking for is both the demolition of the barn approval as well as the, certificate of appropriateness for the new structure.
My only question is, you've chosen board and batten siding, which is not on the original house. I just didn't know how you made that decision. You won't see much of it from the street, as you already pointed out. I'm just wondering.
We just thought it would look nice.
We thought it looked nicer
Looks fine.
aesthetically. I think it looks more appropriate for a barn.
Kind
barn.
of kept with the barn.
Kept with the barn? Okay.
And it is, the barn predominantly white, and we are keeping the structure white.
Okay.
And the roof materials are the
It's going to be, it's going to be just shingle, which is
asphalt?
the current, asphalt shingle, which is the current barn roof today.
Okay. Terry?
Did you say the structure is the same age as the house?
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. Our home is, I think, 1886. We did an addition, a significant addition about 4 years ago, which, on the backside, just to make the home a little bit more livable.
Which the architect who
Foley,
fully
but we don't know the actual age of the barn.
And the second story, why would you do a second?
Well, the barn has a second-story loft, and we would just like additional space within, kind of, I think it's in, I don't think it's too much extra square footage of the structure itself. It would just be more usable space. Eventually, there would be a loft area of roughly 800 square feet on the second story of the new structure. Just to have we have an adult son that lives with us. We don't intend to turn it into living quarters immediately. But we like that option down the road. And that's more of an option, but be more for storage currently.
We have an adult son living with us too, so we can appreciate the need for space. But as long as you could run into some problems if you make it a living, install plumbing and make it look like a residence. In other words.
I don't think they would change
something
the facades
No,
it would still look
Right.
like a barn.
No, not at all. In fact, our neighbors on either side of us are apartment buildings. If you have an aerial view of the
Yep, aerial view's great.
property.
We're one of the only single-family homes on
Yeah.
that stretch of the branch.
So this is our property here. This is an apartment building that was converted a while ago to 2 apartments. This is converted to 4 apartments. The structures, the buildings over here are all converted to offices.
Is it, what is your residential zoning? Is it,
It's both,
Mixed.
mixed use,
okay, so you might,
commercial and residential, I believe.
yeah.
And then I think you have another aerial view we had. Because across the street from us, if you look at where we are, this is the Radnor Library.
There is a lot of diversity on the street.
There is, yes.
There
And
is,
it,
and we're trying to maintain the single-family home, I mean, we actually pride ourselves on being one of the few single-family homes on that street, and just to kind of keep improving with the structure that we bought,
Yeah.
which is not in great shape.
yeah, I think in the architect's letter, he said it was cost prohibitive to bring the existing structure up to anything that's usable. I forget his exact phrase.
Yeah, it's beyond redemption, I
Yes.
think is the way I would say it,
Exactly.
in a religious way.
So it didn't make sense to keep it there because of the water line.
Yeah,
And just bring it closer, make it a little bit more accessible for us. And, so that's how we're,
so the only issue would be the sight lines from the neighborhood, the 2 neighbors, and right now they're not, I don't know if they're condos or they're renters, but,
the renters.
so in that respect, I don't see that there's an issue based on the quality of what you've presented is what will go there. The fact that they're separate structures doesn't affect the historic nature of the main house, which has already been approved and done. So I don't have any issue with what you're proposing.
Thank you.
Shall I? I'll do it. I move we issue a certificate of appropriateness.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Do we need anything for the demolition, or is that all included in this?
I don't, do we need to approve the
You
demolition?
can do 2 approaches. You can apply for your building permit and everything else with it in one shot and include the demo in that scope of work.
Okay,
Or if you want to take the structure down, you can submit a separate demolition permit.
Gotcha.
Standalone
but this
by
gives us the
itself.
approval to build a new structure. And I believe the grading permit, which is contingent upon this approval, does include the demolition
Correct.
of the,
I
because
would-
of the net
So
impervious space.
You could submit your applications. Technically, everything gets approved at the next BOC meeting, all the appropriateness, but in the meantime, we could take your application and review the plans and prepare it.
Great. Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Just a thought, it'd be a nice touch to save one of the doors of the barn or something and use it as an art piece on the new structure.
So I love those ideas, and just
The porch was
support
still
beams,
using the original,
all the original support beams, and they're now the ceiling in our kitchen.
There you
So
go.
So,
I'm-
yeah.
I am there with you, the more we
Okay.
can save, the better, but to,
Yeah.
make it usable.
Absolutely. Thank you.
The other squirrels.
Thank you very much.
All right.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, wherever it went, HARB 2024, number 11. This would be 132 Runnymede Avenue. One-story conditioned sunroom in the location of an existing open porch, new double hung at location of an existing arch door, concrete and masonry patio, and replace the existing windows and doors. Is that right?
That is correct, sir.
We'll bring Ian will come out and help you.
I have it digitally, just to make it a little easier.
Okay. You want to wait for that or start up now?
I can start talking. So my name is Joseph Daimler. I'm agent for the applicant, Phil Harris, from Barber Giesel Design. As mentioned, yeah, I'm plugged in. Just need to switch over the feed. We are proposing to demolish an existing open porch and in its place construct a new sunroom. The client would like to get a little more usable floor space for the interior. They're looking to convert one of the existing family room for future livability down the road and for elderly parents that they have now. The existing porch footprint width would be maintained, and then the new sunroom is about 4 feet deeper than that existing porch. Sunroom would be keeping in with the design of the house, traditional double hung windows with divided lights. And hold on, view, screen. So Runnymede is,
Do you have a shot of the existing?
I do. Let's scroll
We
in.
couldn't see the arched window from the street.
Oh, you cannot see the arch window from the street, really. So this is the existing porch here. This is the existing Palladian window, which would get revised to a double hung. And so again, this porch would get a little bit deeper on this rear facade. And just to help with sort of the sill pan issue here, it would be a flat roof with a parapet, decorative railing. This home is approximately, I would say, 1940s, so it's a little bit of an infill in a street full of slightly older turn of the century and before the turn of the century homes. This is just showing, again, that proposed sunroom addition, again, a decorative parapet railing, double hung windows. And then these are the existing elevations where you can see the Palladian window here, which would be removed. So there's proposed versus existing.
Can you go back to the proposed again? For a
Yeah.
second? Okay, the windows are pretty much mirrored there,
Yeah.
16 over 16, or 8 over 8. And it's the back of the house, then doesn't face the street.
It does not face the street. It is at the back of the house, and this is the building line here. So again, it's tucked back behind the house.
Thank you. Do you have anything else, or?
The only other proposal would be to replace the existing windows in their existing light configurations with newer units. They're the existing windows from the 1940s, so hoping to get some better energy compliance.
No comments, it looks good.
I'm okay. You're okay? I'm okay?
I'm okay if you're okay.
And I move we issue a certificate of appropriateness.
A second the motion.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
We can be more difficult than this, you know.
Yeah.
We have been.
I'll take it. I'll take the pleasure. Thank you so much.
Next on, up to bat, 302 Radnor Street Road, Wayne. Addition in the back of the house to replace the front dormer with a gable wall. Is that right?
Yes. I'm trying to find it.
We'll bring Ian out if you need him.
We'll get you set up in just a second. You can, if you want to introduce and,
Yeah, so my name is Dimas Skvartsov. I'm living there since 2008. The house itself is from 1975. So there are several more or less similar houses. I submitted this plan when I here the pictures when I submit.
don't erase his drive.
So the links aren't working on these. Are these all the physical plans? Because we can bring those up on the screen too. Yeah, I'll bring the camera.
Our primary job, you know, is to protect houses built
Hmm?
in 1975.
Yeah, so the house itself was built in 1975. There are several similar houses. It's a big lot that's been subdivided, and several houses were built there. Several of them already built a similar addition in the back. Unfortunately, like the pictures that I had, they were submitted, but I don't have them on me right now. So what I'm looking to do is to build an addition in the back and then replace the front dormer with a gable roof so that it extends further out.
And the pictures of the other houses in the neighborhood were a good addition so that we can see how it compares to the other houses in the neighborhood as well.
Yes, they were submitted. I have
We
them.
have them. You just,
Do you have them?
if you want to come around, you can have my copy so that we can all see them.
So this is the front of the house, the way it currently looks. So on the front of the house, instead of this dormer, it will be a gable roof here. Again, similar from the front of the house. And in the back of the house, there will be an addition here, a two-story addition, which pretty much is identical to this. So this is the neighbor house, and this is a similar addition.
Well, the gable makes it nicer than a square.
I hope so. Across the road, there are new construction homes.
Lion View, is it?
That's Fox Lane.
Fox Lane.
And again, another view of the houses across the road. So these are much bigger houses.
Well, that gable that's in that house matches the gable that's at the back of your house from a,
It will be similar appearance, yes.
was there any thought given to giving it a little different siding patterns to kind of give it a little more character? On just a thought.
Yeah, so I've engaged the designer to help with touches, and the architecture plans have been submitted.
Okay. And Andy, the grading permit and stuff has to do with when they add on to the back of the house, that's not our job, it's just how it looks.
No, that would all be handled through engineering. You'd have the standard review processes. Do you have your submitted for grading permit yet?
I submitted all the permits.
Okay, so,
Grading and construction.
okay. So if everything's under submittal, have you, anything been issued yet, grading-wise?
Let me, no,
Okay,
all I did was submit everything,
no problem.
so this had to happen.
Yeah, that's no problem at all. So
Okay.
they'll go through the standard review process, and we'll check things like setbacks, impervious coverage, et cetera.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Do you have the front elevation? I had a very minor question for you. The new, with the gable. There you go.
Here it is, if you want it. That's that.
Yeah, here's my minor question, was there a reason, these are not historic shutters or anything like that to begin with, but is there a reason you didn't put shutters on the bedroom windows?
I mean, that's how it's always been. There's a plastic shutter, so.
I know.
This is a 1975 house.
I didn't, no, I'm just saying.
You mean on the second story
On
there?
the second story, right there. To match.
I think what Dave's saying is,
All the other front windows have shutters. I know they're only vinyl shutters. Would you like to have them on the new two windows on the upper
I
floor?
see what you're saying.
Something to
Yeah,
consider. It's
yeah,
not gonna
I-
matter for us. I just thought I'd offer that for you.
Yeah,
It might, those windows might then blend in with the
Yeah,
existing windows better.
That makes sense.
That's all.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a good one, thank you.
Okay, certainly. Let's see if
Terry?
Reservations, but I'll second.
we issue a certificate of appropriateness, please.
That was a motion for it?
Is a motion.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much. Congratulations to everybody who was here on passing and getting things to look nicer. You're welcome. Any new business? Hearing none? What?
The adjournment in the meeting
The new.
You still have to read that. When the next meeting will be.
when the next
Oh.
meeting.
at the bottom.
The next HARB meeting is scheduled for October 2nd, 2024 at 6:30 PM. Applications for the October 2nd meeting must be submitted on or before September 17th this year, 2024. Thank you for your attendance and diligence to getting this done, and we appreciate you being here. Motion to adjourn? You got to say it out loud.
I motion. I move that we adjourn.
Second. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you all.